Last month, I watched a $200 tent rip apart in moderate wind. The hiker next to me, her 15-year-old shelter didn't even flinch. Here's the uncomfortable truth about camping gear in 2025. Expensive doesn't mean better. And the stuff going viral on social media, half of it won't survive your first real trip. I spent the last 4 months testing 73 pieces of gear across 3 different climates. Some of it blew my mind. Some of it belongs in a landfill. Today, I'm sharing the 12 products that actually earned a spot in my pack. And trust me, number 8 completely changed how I think about outdoor cooking. But here's the catch. 3 of these items are already selling out. So if you're planning any trips this year, you'll want to stick around because I'm dropping links and discount codes that expire this week. Let's get into it. BioLite Alpenglow. For camp lighting, I've completely switched to the BioLite Alpenglow, and this might sound weird, but it's changed the entire vibe of my camping trips. This thing has multiple color modes, a candle flicker setting, and can run for up to 200 hours on the lowest setting. Why does this matter? Because lighting affects mood more than we realize. I did a trip with some friends last fall, and instead of the harsh white LED lantern we usually use, I set this to a warm amber glow. The difference was incredible. Conversations went deeper. People actually relaxed instead of scrolling their phones, and it genuinely felt like we were around a campfire even though we were in a no-burn zone. You can shake it to change modes, which works great when your hands are full or wet. It's rechargeable via USB-C, and the battery indicator actually shows you percentage remaining instead of just blinking when it's about to die. The only drawback? At 200 lumens max, it's not bright enough to be your only light source if you're cooking or need task lighting. That's why I run both the Spot 400 and this. Headlamp for work, Alpenglow for atmosphere. Jetboil Flash. Controversial opinion time. Most camp stoves are over-engineered garbage. There, I said it. I've used stoves that required a PhD to assemble, stoves that couldn't boil water in mild wind, and one that literally melted its own fuel line. So when I tell you the Jetboil Flash has lived in my pack for 3 years straight, understand that I don't say that lightly. 120 seconds. That's how long it takes this thing to boil half a liter of water, and I've timed it in temperatures ranging from 35 to 90 degrees. The flux ring technology on the bottom of the pot creates this insanely efficient heat transfer, so you're not wasting fuel heating the air around your pot. The color changing indicator tells you when your water's ready, which might seem gimmicky until you're half asleep making coffee and you prevent yourself from grabbing a scalding pot. Here's what I love. The entire system nests together. The fuel canister fits inside the pot, which fits inside the insulator, so it takes up about as much space as an Nalgene bottle. Push-button ignition means no fumbling with lighters in the wind, and the pot clips directly to the burner, so there's no chance of knocking it over. Now the limitation. This is a boil-only system. You're not cooking elaborate meals with this. It's for coffee, oatmeal, ramen, dehydrated meals, basically anything that just needs hot water. If you want to actually cook, you'll need a different setup. But for speed, efficiency, and reliability, I haven't found anything better. Wakako Picopresso. Let me show you the Wakako Picoresso, a portable espresso maker. And I know what you're thinking. That's unnecessary luxury. You're absolutely right. It's also amazing. This thing pulls 18 bars of pressure, which is legitimate espresso, not just strong coffee. I've used it on summit pushes, during long driving days, and honestly, just sitting by a creek on a rest day. The reason I'm including this isn't because everyone needs espresso in the wilderness. It's because gear should enhance your experience, not just meet minimum requirements. If good coffee makes your mornings better, and better mornings make you enjoy trips more, then this tiny aluminum device is worth its weight. It's USB-C rechargeable, fits in a side pocket, and makes coffee that's genuinely better than anything from a camp percolator. The catch? It requires finely ground espresso, so you need to pre-grind or bring a small hand grinder, and it makes single shots. So if you're camping with 4 people, you'll be there a while. But for solo or duo camping, this turns your morning routine into something you look forward to instead of just tolerate. At around $120, it's a splurge, but one that pays dividends every single morning on the trail. Zpax Hexamid. This is the Zpax Hexamid, and it weighs less than 10 ounces without the floor. When I first saw the price tag, around $550, I laughed out loud for a single-person shelter that looks like a giant tarp, but then I actually used it on a 180-mile section hike, and I completely understood. Ultralight doesn't mean fragile. This is made from Dyneema, which is 15 times stronger than steel by weight. I've had it in sustained 30-mile-per-hour winds, driving rain, and even some unexpected sleet. It held up perfectly. The single trekking pole setup means you're not carrying tent poles, and it pitches in under 5 minutes once you get the hang of it. Here's the trade-off you need to understand. This is a minimalist shelter. There's no vestibule for gear storage, no room to sit up, and definitely no space for 2 people unless you really like each other. The bathtub floor and bug netting keep you protected, but if you're claustrophobic or need space to move around, this will drive you crazy. This is for hikers who prioritize weight savings above all else and are comfortable with the compromises that come with that. Every ounce matters when you're covering 20 miles a day, and this tent understands that better than anything else on the market. Cold Steel Bushman. The Cold Steel Bushman series gets recommended constantly, and for good reason. This is a full-tang, high-carbon steel knife that costs about $40. Let me repeat that, $40. I've used mine for everything from processing firewood to cutting rope, preparing food, and even digging when I forgot a trowel. The handle is hollow, so you can attach it to a stick and use it as a spear if you're into that, or just store small items inside. What I appreciate most is how it holds an edge. I went 6 months between sharpenings with regular use, and it still sliced through cardboard cleanly. The sheath is basic, but functional, and the whole package feels like it was designed by someone who actually uses knives outdoors, not just designs them in an office. This isn't a fancy knife with exotic steel or a $1,000 price tag. It's a workhorse that does everything you need in the backcountry without babying it. I've batoned wood with it, used it to clear brush, and cleaned fish. It just works. For the price of 2 fancy coffees, you get a knife that could last decades. Helinox Chair 1. The Helinox Chair 1 is around $120 for a camp chair that weighs just over 2 pounds. I know what you're thinking. That's ridiculous money for a chair. And you're right, it's also worth it. And here's why. After a 12-mile hike, the difference between sitting on a log or rock versus an actual chair with back support is massive. This thing supports up to 320 pounds, packs down smaller than a water bottle, and sets up in about 15 seconds. The DAC aluminum frame is bomb-proof. I've had mine for 4 years with 0 issues. Here's where it earns its keep. Comfort directly impacts how much you enjoy camping. When you're comfortable, you stay outside longer, you don't rush to bed, and you actually want to hang around camp. I've had friends who were hesitant campers become regulars after I loaned them this chair. Sometimes removing 1 point of discomfort is all it takes to transform someone's entire outdoor experience. If you car camp even occasionally, this is the one luxury item I'd recommend without hesitation. Anchor Solix Power Bank. The Anchor Solix is my backup power solution for multi-day hikes where the jackery would be overkill. This thing charges phones multiple times, is solar compatible, and actually fits in a jacket pocket. I keep it charged in my pack at all times because you never know when you'll need it. Last summer, I ran into a day hiker whose phone died, and she was genuinely panicked because she needed GPS to get back to the trailhead. 10 minutes with the Anchor, and she had enough juice to navigate safely. It's lightweight enough that I don't notice it, powerful enough to charge my phone 4 to 5 times, and reliable enough that I trust it in emergencies. At around $80 to $100, it's cheap insurance against being stranded with a dead phone. Night Eyes Spotlit. The Night Eyes Spotlit is a tiny magnetic clip light that's waterproof and floats, and it costs about $10. I attach one to my dog's collar so I can see him at night, one to my tent zipper so I'm not fumbling in the dark, and keep one in my first aid kit. These little lights throw enough illumination to find gear, mark your campsite, or signal in an emergency. They're not bright enough for navigation, but for markers and quick tasks, they're perfect. Buy 3, scatter them around your gear, and thank me later. Aluminum Portable Folding Table. This table seems basic until you realize how much better camp life becomes with an actual stable surface. Quality aluminum camping tables are constructed from lightweight yet incredibly sturdy materials that fold completely flat in seconds and pack into their own carry bags, taking up minimal space in your gear. Set it up next to your campfire, inside your tent, or at the beach, and suddenly you have a proper spot for food, drinks, games, or organizing equipment. The surface is waterproof and heat-resistant, meaning hot coffee mugs and sizzling camp meals won't damage it. Unlike cheap plastic tables that wobble on any uneven ground, aluminum construction stays stable even on rocky or sloped terrain. Height is perfect for sitting around in camp chairs. Good quality options typically run between $30 and $50, putting this in the "why haven't I bought this sooner" category. Whether you're car camping, tailgating, or even backpacking with a group willing to split the weight, these tables cables bring comfort and convenience that significantly improves your outdoor experience. Small in size but massive in usefulness. UCO 6-piece. Camping mess kit, juggling mismatched utensils and disposable plastic cutlery is amateur hour. The UCO mess kit is the ultimate organized solution for eating outdoors. This cleverly designed 6-piece set includes a bowl, plate, spork, knife, and a tight-fitting tether system that keeps everything packed together. No more digging through your pack trying to find that one fork that always disappears. Everything has its place and stays put. Lightweight, BPA-free, and eco-friendly materials that handle rugged use without cracking or breaking. The lid doubles as an extra plate, making this genuinely versatile for solo use or sharing. Ergonomic design means comfortable eating whether you're at a campsite, on a backpacking trip, or having a picnic. Cleaning is quick and easy even when you're far from home. The entire kit slips right into your backpack without adding noticeable weight. The UCO 6-piece kit typically retails around $30 to $35 for a complete dining solution that lasts for years, making this exceptional value. Simple, smart, and specifically made for adventurers who believe outdoor meals should be just as enjoyable as the adventure itself. Here's the thing about gear. There's no perfect universal setup. What works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. The key is understanding your priorities. Are you optimizing for weight, comfort, budget, durability? Once you know that, choosing gear becomes way easier. I've linked everything in the description with current prices. Some of these have discount codes that expire this week, so check those if you're interested. I've also included alternatives for different budgets, because not everyone can drop $500 on a tent or $200 on a chair. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more honest gear reviews without the marketing fluff. Drop a comment telling me what gear you're curious about. I read every single one, and your questions often become future videos. Get outside, stay safe, and remember, the best gear is the gear you'll actually use. See you on the next one.